All right. Good morning. Let's try this again. Quick video. Real quick. I want to talk about a topic. I may It's always something that happens when you decide to be different. Cool. Real quick. Let's see if we can get through this. As I mentioned in the last attempt to upload this video, we must learn to discern bias and narrative versus truth, versus what is actual, what is real, versus what is relative, subjective. The news is very good. Obviously, we have different networks, different companies, that are led in certain directions, and of course, who's to blame them for doing their job. But when it comes to decision making, when it comes to our individual lives, it is very important that we discern difference, which is the definition of wisdom. So a while back, I posted on Twitter. If you're not following me on Twitter, check the description if you're interested. But yeah, a while back, I posted the following: a world without the possibility of pain is also a world without the possibility of love. A world without the possibility of pain is also a world without the possibility of love. A world without the possibility of pain is also a world without the possibility of love. There's a disease called congenital insensitivity to pain, also known as SIP. And essentially, and basically, it's a disease where you cannot feel pain. The body does not recognize, does not send signals, via neurons or what have you, through the nervous system to the brain to alert you that you are experiencing disorder. Imagine having a broken bone but never knowing it. You can imagine the possibilities, surrounding, trying to navigate this world, this life, without knowing something was wrong, something was out of order. Here's the issue I have. Why? Hey, you see this everywhere, especially on social media. I typically do not I don't engage with emotional currents. You see everyone going in one direction heavily. When I see mass causes, I pause and reflect. Not that it's wrong, not that it's right, but we should all pause and reflect when we find ourselves in the majority. Or if you find yourself in the minority, you should pause and reflect. The point is to question everything. Not to be a cynic, to look truth in the face, to look evidence in the face and still not believe, but to just ask questions, follow-up questions. Try this on for size. You guys are here for, various reasons, but in terms of watching this video, following this channel, subscribing, what have you questioned what I am saying concerning the Air Force, concerning my journey? Obviously, it's subjective in certain areas, but you should be questioning anything I'm saying. Those influencers that you may enjoy watching, listening to. Do you question people you agree with? There's nothing more dangerous than a friend that will not disagree with you. Someone who's supposed to be on your team. Someone who's afraid to tell you the truth, to push back. So, what is so wrong with pain? What is the issue with pain? Turbulence, disorder, chaos, death. It would seem that death seems to affect those who are alive more than it affects the person who actually died. We live with the aftermath. It's the issue with suicide is that the person who died, their journey's over. Some would say it begins again in a different realm, but it's those who are left behind to deal with the aftermath, the pain, the residual. We have to deal with that. Those who are still alive. But what is wrong with pain? Pain points to disorder. It points to a right way of doing things, a righteousness, a right standing. I find it alarming. I find it very alarming that, we want progress, we want growth, we want change, we want betterment, but yet we avoid the pain. Now, of course, some pain is caused by foolishness, from ignorance, from disobedience, from ignoring a warning, But how else would we know that we were doing something wrong unless there was a consequence, that pushed us in the opposite direction? There's always a warning. Those of us who were raised by Black parents, we constantly get the same speech. We go in the grocery store. Hey, don't touch nothing in there, bro. You ain't got no money. Don't touch nothing. I ain't buying no candy. We ain't got no McDonald's money. Constant warnings. So when it comes to the punishment, the conversation is different. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I warn you, bro? I posted yesterday on Twitter that the wisdom that you will seek 10 years from now is available today. A good follow-up question would be, where is it? How do I access it? How do I know the right question to ask? Well, you need direction. You need a goal, a mentor. Of course, before you can get a mentor, you need a goal. How do you choose who mentors you without a goal? The wisdom that you're going to seek 10 years from now, 20 years from now, after the mistake, after the aftermath, that wisdom is available now. The laws rarely change, but yet, we hired the lawyer later, after. Now, by no means am I saying that, mistakes won't happen, because we should constantly just be asking questions and we not make any decisions. We're just in a state of indecisiveness, because there's no safety in that. There's no safety in not making a decision. You're wasting time in the process. So it's actually costing you more not to make a decision. But there are some mistakes that are immediately fatal. You can't recover from. And it's important that we discern difference. It's important that we seek mentorship from people who have gone before us, who have made mistakes already, who have, learned via pain, and that mentorship is now valuable to us in its most perfect form, wisdom. Here's a question. What is the most valuable state of being? Well, the kind of answer is, that was a horrible question. I'll answer it for you. Life. 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 Life is all we have. Human life. It's all that matters, to be honest with you. Human life. And you notice, look at the 20th century in particular, you would notice how it was probably the greatest bloodshed, in terms of, time periods. The 20th century. It's probably the bloodiest, to date. So much bloodshed. Why is that? I posted on Twitter. So you guys haven't noticed already. I post most of my thoughts on Twitter. Instagram stories tends to get the narrative of my day, the timeline of my day. Snapchat tends to have the same as Instagram. And then Twitter gets my thoughts, as they occur, as they come to me. I'll be doing some random activity and I'll have a thought of, ooh, interesting, a question, a thought. I'll observe something. I'll see something on Twitter, and I won't comment directly on that, but I'll probably just tweet something that is probably a question, or it's a thought that resulted from that stimuli. But yeah, I, would you want to live in a world without pain? I posted on Twitter that the most dangerous thing to life is for death to become normal. Black Panther, Kobe, just death. You know, Obviously, with whether or not you believe in, the biological, chaos that we're dealing with currently, there's death surrounding it. Whether the numbers are accurate or not, there is death surrounding this issue. And then outside of that, people die anyway. If you notice that the biggest celebrities, when they die, they have a great weekend in social media, a great month or so, depending on how big they are. Kobe, I was in the Wendy's drive-through when TMZ posted. And come to think that I don't even follow TMZ. So I'm not sure how I saw it. I think it was probably on my search, discovery page, what have you. But yeah, you'll notice that, you have a great week or so, a great day on social media after you die. You won't see it, but those who are left behind to see it. And then it goes back to normal. A question would arise: how long should you grieve, for someone who has died? I don't know. I don't know. But the point being is that when we experience that pain from death of a loved one or someone we admire, someone we loved, cared about, friends with, family, that pain it's a clue, it's a signal, it's pointing towards something. What is that? What is pain pointing towards? Hunger points towards the possibility of food. Thirst points towards the possibility of water or liquid refreshment. We all have this yearning for justice. What is that yearning pointing towards? We all have this hope that lives within us that, for some reason, we all think we're going to be rich. We all think that, we're going to have the greatest things and material and, the greatest relationships. We all have hope, for that perfect someone, which I don't know why we think perfect anything exists. Everything for the most part is either in a state of progress or a state of decay, a state of movement. Nothing stays still. Now, by no means am I saying celebrate, you know, the loss of life or the occurrence of pain, but there should be a level of, expectation for that pain. You know, we watch all these filthy and crazy movies of just, the Saw series and The Hills Have Eyes, all these random scary movies that I have to sit through the previews at the movies. I pretty much go to the movies every Sunday since they reopened up here in Alaska. And like I'm sitting there just trying to get through these doggone previews. I'm like, bro, I'm not watching that, bro. It's like a 3-minute long trailer. Good lord, bro. So yeah, you have these crazy movies of the deepest, darkest sides of our psyche. Someone's creativity came up with this, but then we're surprised when we see it occur in reality. You know, our video games are not the most warm and fuzzy, you know, and yet when it occurs in reality, all of a sudden, where did that come from? Our music is probably the last, you know, safe haven of free speech. And then we're surprised when people start living it out. You know, these inputs have to have outputs. What you input into one's mind, there has to be an output from that. Where else is it supposed to go? I was watching a YouTube video yesterday with Bill Burr and what is his name? The dude with the long hair. Anyway, the guy made a good point. Bill Burr is probably one of my favorite comedians. He was asking questions of, serial killers and, as they go throughout life, just chopping people up. And he was like, he was arguing that you have to blame God for that. That there's no way these people just come out the womb and they want to, they just immediately start, going off. He had a good point. What is that guy's name? I cannot think of this dude's name. But he made a real good point. He's like, you're telling me that we're supposed to be these good human beings. We have a longing for justice and peace and hope and beauty and love. And then you have these weird, sporadic occurrences where you have someone who just decides to start killing people up. Russell Brand, that's his name. The video was Rabbits, Psychopaths, and Religion with Bill Burr and Russell Brand. It's an interesting title. Very long title. And surprisingly, at least to me, Russell Brand starts, going off on this long rant about how, we have free will. That humans have the ability to choose. And the question must, be asked, why is it that we want people to choose the right choice every single time? Doesn't the right choice imply that there's a bad choice available? Doesn't a good choice necessitate a bad choice being available? Doesn't peace imply that there's a chaos that is normal? It's weird. Equality. Interesting term. We want equality. Everyone wants to be the same. Here's a question. Are we the same? The Onion has a crazy video. He was like, the title of it is help someone's a different height than I am. That's good stuff. What's the problem? Why is it that we fear difference? We attack difference. Why must everything be the same? Should everyone be the same height? You know, should everyone have the same thing? Here's a thought. How would you vote in regards to taxes if you were a millionaire? Just a question. If we changed your tax bracket, say, you know what, we're going to put you in the top 1% of earners. I don't know. I don't know. The point is that we have failed to see all sides at once. We fail to be objective on a daily basis. The issue with truth is that it requires you to remove yourself from the equation. You know, we always point to a rule and then we say, well, here's one exception from my personal experiences, and this disproves that rule. No. No. It's not how that works. Here's a question. Whose opinion is paramount? Let's say me and you disagree about something. Whose opinion rules the other? I don't know. But there's an issue there, because as long as we both have opinions and they're both respected and we're both allowed to have our own opinions, cool. But then when we go to seek truth and we go to make a decision, whose opinion do we go with? As long as they're conflicting, there's always two sides of the story, and then obviously, the truth of the matter. If Hitler thinks one way, you have, Martin Luther King or Gandhi, or who else? You, myself, and we think one way. Who's wrong? Better question, who decides who's wrong? Because if I decide, I'm biased already. If Hitler decides, he's biased already. Who decides who's wrong? How can I tell you that you're wrong about something when I'm biased? And then you try to tell me that I'm wrong about something. We won't make any progress anywhere. Hence, we have court systems, we have, laws by which we decide right from wrong. Well, here's a question. How do we tell right from wrong when it comes to morality? Who writes the laws of morality? Yes, we have all these legal laws, and that's how we tell the speed limit and whether or not we're breaking the law. We have certain statutes and limitations and regulations that tell us when we're doing something illegal. Hey, you've crossed this line. You are now a criminal. But is there a law that says I can't lie? Where is that? If you're atheist, you're going to say, what? I don't know. Just questions. But the point being is that there has to be a truth that exists outside of us in order for pain down here to even exist. Where is the hope coming from that we all have? This sounds weird to say, but I'm grateful for pain because it makes everything else that I value possible. Imagine a world where there are no females, no males, no categories. It's just one being walking around. Thousands of beings that all look the same, all look alike. No variation in color, no variation in sizes, no eye color, no hair color. Just identical looking robots. That's what we're asking for in a lot of different areas. If you think about the Olympics, why is the US so dominant? Because we benefit from diversity. But of course, on the opposite end of that, we suffer from diversity. I live in Alaska currently, and it is empty, for the most part. It's just spread out. Everyone minds their business for the most part. It's just you have the option to live next to no one. But of course, you go to DC, New York City, or Chicago, or LA, and you see people just bunched up on top of each other. Just, of course, there's going to be issues. I don't know. Here's the point of the point of the video, the point of the stream. Because I really like to leave these videos with, I want to leave you with some thoughts to ponder on for the day. Obviously, there's different time zones. It's 7 a.m. here. How would your life look like if you never experienced pain in any area? If there were never any negative consequences. When you worked out, you did not feel anything. You just, no discomfort, no lactic acid, no pumps, no breaking of the muscle down, no autophagy. You didn't eat, you didn't feel hungry. You didn't drink water, you didn't feel thirsty. You walked out in the desert, you walked out in the cold. Don't feel anything. Shout out to Pumper. OWO, you would be dead. Some would like to think, you'd be invincible. No. Invincible implies that there's someone who's invincible. There's a value to pain that we have lost all consciousness of. Without pain, we have no strength. Without injustice, there's no justice. Here's the issue, people. Matter of fact, what's this right here? It's nasty. Try this on real quick. And, of course, the tweet speaks to this. There's no love without pain. There's no relationships. Love is our greatest ethic. I personally don't believe in unconditional love. I believe that love has expectations. They may be subjective in nature, but I believe there's a truth to love that is outside of, you and I, our personal subjective opinions. I feel like there's a truth to love, And I feel like pain points to that love. I feel like pain that we experience points to a calmness, a peace that is possible. It's not a state of arrival, it's a state of progress. It's a place of working towards, There's certain people that, when I engage with them, I feel a peace that comes down on me. There's a level of comfort that you experience with certain personalities, certain people you talk to, and you feel home. And there's certain people that, they constantly just talk over you, or that they're erratic in nature. They can't seem to focus. They don't make eye contact. They look away. They look down, to the right, to the left. It's uncomfortable to deal with them. All that does is bring more value to the people that you enjoy. Here's a thought I want to leave you with, and it's something I experienced yesterday. I'm doing a staff sergeant tech sergeant PME, professional development course, and we ended the class yesterday with a personality test, a color personality test. And I posted this on IG and Snapchat. I'm a green, and of course, the typical breakdown of my personality, the analytical and structured and all that. Cool. You can Google it. It's not all that entertaining. And then, of course, you had the three other colors. There was orange, gold, and blue. And apparently blue is opposing to my side of the spectrum, the green. And the blue tends to be the soft, the warm, the Philly, the compassionate, and the empathy, and all that. And then my side's kind of like the hard, knowing, has to be right. Well, actually, the Oscars of the world, the truth sayers, the truth seekers, the question askers, the question everything, the philosophers. There's that side, and then of course the people that just give hugs. Kumbaya. Let's just play our acoustic guitars in the field, and some will call them naive, optimistic. Anyway, two opposing sides. And there was one part of the presentation where they were comparing the two. And they're saying, this is what you guys agree on, and this is what you guys disagree on. This is how you think you are. This is how you are perceived to be. And that's the last part, that stuck with me, was the perception. I think I'm on 10 with most things I think about. It's me, bro. Intellectual. Philosopher. Thinker. Muser, if you will. And then there's the other side that just, I feel like we should, test the strength of this bridge during this windstorm, because I have hope that we'll make it. And I thought about something. I prefer, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to spending time with other people, I don't like other greens. I need that opposite side for balance in my personal life. One of the things I listed on my list in terms of things I enjoy or things that bring me, a level of calmness, is affection. Well, I'm not I'll take that back. I can be a very affectionate person, but I love dogs and cats and miniature horses and that whole spectrum, the side of Facebook. There's a side of me that enjoys those type of things, mainly because it's not me. It's the opposite. It's a different side of me. And something I learned from that whole presentation was essentially that I need to learn to basically look to the other side more often, work on how I perceive others to be, especially the opposite side of me, the blues of the world. There's a certain side in me that resists those type of people. Resist those type of people, especially when it comes to the intellectual conversations. I constantly tell people that we need both emotions and logic and rationality in a conversation when it comes to a decision. Sometimes one is prioritized more. When it comes to mathematics, there's not a lot of emotion that needs to be brought into that conversation. 1 + 1 is 2, no matter how you feel in the moment. It does not change. When it comes to divorce, yes, we can do the math on it, but what's in the best interest of the child? How can we make this fair? I don't know. The point being is that we need to look at this world as objectively as possible if we want any any sort of solution. I personally don't believe that anything gets better on its own. Even with great amounts, just huge amounts of effort, and energy just pointing in one direction. Help, help, change, change, change. That's all well and good. But if you look at this world we live in, I don't know. The only solution I see and how we can improve, our lives. And personally, I don't deal with a lot of foolishness in my day-to-day life, but I know change could happen at any second. It could plan itself. Tragedy could hit my doorstep today. Who knows what the rest of this day holds? And there has to be a level of, objectiveness to realize that one authorizes the other. One makes the other one possible. So many recruits hit me up. It's low-key overwhelming because you see, people dealing with so much turbulence in their home lives and, financial issues, and they're trying to get to a better place. And there comes a time in my life where I would like to give hope to people, even my own family. You see people struggling and you're like, I want to give hope, but that they don't need hope in this situation. They may want that. You may want to hear that everything is going to be all right, but that may not be truth. What you may need is discipline or structure, to work through the pain, to outlast the pain. Long rant. Long rant. I would challenge you. Slow down when it comes to pain. Slow down. That's probably my greatest piece of advice when it comes to pain is don't make any rash decisions in the midst of it. Because pain tends to push us towards getting out of the pain. We just want to quickly turn it off. Fast acting Tylenol. Just turn off this pain as quick as possible. I don't want to feel this anymore. We get in the car, we just want the heat on. Just quick, hurry up. We personally, I have the automatic start. Come on. Mm-mm. But you will notice that in the midst of pain, you will begin to feel alive. It's so interesting that, and for me, it's during the winter. And of course, living in Alaska now, I'm gonna have great degrees of this. But when I'm cold, I feel alive. So again, you have all these different analogies when you look for them. Cold showers. Why are cold showers effective? Because they shock you from your place of comfort. They bring you out of that place of just unconsciousness, of just kind of, I'm cruise controlling my way through life. And then you get a jolt of pain, a jolt of stimuli that hits your nervous system. That's all caffeine is. It's just a jolt of stimuli to your nervous system that just allows you to be more, aware. All these different pre-workouts. What is this? C4 has all these different ingredients, and most of them are just designed to make you feel. Because most of us just go through life not feeling anything. When I was reading the description of the green category of people, a lot of the adjectives were just, he's cold, calculated, unfeeling, unflinching. And I'm like, that does not describe me at all. I'm like a sponge when I enter an environment. I pick up on vibes heavy. I was just editing this morning of I have a New York video from 2019. And the music I chose for, it's vibe heavy. You hear me? Some of my favorite artists are vibe heavy. The lyrics are deep, intentional. Occasionally I have the rap where there's just kind of, last second. I'm gonna whip this together, write this out real quick. But yeah, a lot of us are just asleep. A lot of us haven't felt pain in a while because we worked so hard to eliminate pain. Now, by no means am I saying to leave chaos, on its own, leave chaos just running, around in your life. No. But we all need to feel something when we wake up in the morning. We need to be on a path, something pushing us towards what we want and something pulling us towards what we want. The pull tends to be hope, but the push tends to be pain. A lot of you have just pain. Your pain is just pushing you towards the Air Force. No, I'm not saying that pain is going to go away. The Air Force, in a lot of ways, adds pain. But again, pain it gives value. We speak to negative connotations. Well, pain is one of those things where it can have positive connotations. Once again, going back to going through life without feeling pain, how productive would you be? You would make it past the first 5 minutes or so. But yeah, that's the video. I really just want to get that thought out. I had to really, really just talk it out. In a lot of ways, these videos are for me, therapeutic for me, to really just talk out some ideas, to get these same thoughts in my own head. It's been a very turbulent, past month or so of just learning a new job. Courtney Palmer, you missed everything. Showing up late. Yeah, I ain't hit that notification bell. Listen, that's on you. But yeah, been a turbulent couple of months, learning a new job, living in a new state, kind of starting over in a lot of ways. But that pain has made me feel alive. On weekends, on most days, I'm out doing something new. I'm back on my 230 junk, got my heater, got my lamp. That's all I needed. My coffee, you feel me? Got my old jug. You guys watch my old dorm videos? I had one of these. I love it. Love it. Anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm about to get in the shower, take a cold shower. You hear me? Because it's different up here. But yeah, we headed to work. Yeah, we're gonna make it productive, make some moves. But yeah, I will see y'all next video. Y'all take care.